Hello. Today we'll be discussing a case study from the Human Kinetics textbook on sports communication. This case study is, as you can see, about social media strategy within Big Ten athletic departments. My name is Joshua Tarafa. I study at Loyola University of Chicago, and I hope you enjoy. This case study was performed using a sample of 4 professionals within the Big Ten athletic departments at their respective universities. The 4 participants were not chosen at random, therefore, this study cannot be generalized. It is a qualitative study, and among the 4 participants, 2 of them were liaisons between the marketing and communications departments, and 2 of them were solely athletic communications departments specialists at their university. This study was done by taking the transcripts of the interviews that were conducted with these 4 participants over the course of 2 months. They read the transcripts and then they collected a general cluster statement about the consensus they got from those transcripts. And then finally, they used those clusters to develop an essence of what the social media strategy was at Big Ten universities. This case study came with many interesting discussion questions. As I will detail along the course of this video, these questions are thought to be thought-provoking and encourage future participation on this topic. As this study said, they were one of the first to study this topic in universities and especially in the Big Ten in general. So the first question that they asked was, what is the extent to which athletic departments should provide behind-the-scenes access to their sports? Behind-the-scenes access, as detailed in the article, is, as you would think, it's not quite as behind the scenes as every fan might think when they see it on their social media feed. Many of the behind-the-scenes videos of the players coming out of the tunnel or interacting during workouts are often staged because that means control for the university athletic communication department. And that's a good thing. The public can see and feel like they are connected and begin a loyalty with the organization without any risk. They also, at many of these universities, there was a consensus among the participants to ban social media accounts or highly actively monitor these accounts of the athletes themselves as to make sure that they don't do any harm to themselves by posting things that might be inappropriate, and also not do any harm to the university or the team image by posting things that are inconsistent with the brand. The second question laid out in this case study was, how might smaller athletic departments be able to handle the increase of two-way communication involving their sports? Smaller departments, as I state here, means centralized communication. Many of the participants in this study said that they had different strategies for how posts were made. Some of them went through the head of the communication department. Others had multiple people allowed to be gatekeepers and manage their posts. With a smaller department, you have less people, you have more communication between your employees and allows them to be on the same page when they make posts, no overlap, and then also be able to know who is going to answer the fans when they respond, whether positively or negatively, so then they feel appreciated because you're able to respond to them in a meaningful way. At a smaller university as well, there might be less fan engagement, which would then make it easier for these smaller communications departments to also handle the load of responses to their posts in the comment section. The third question is, what is the increasing popularity of social media, which additional audiences should be considered in the near future, and why? Future fans are fans already and they just don't know it yet. The younger kids that watch with their parents, or maybe even the older teenagers and students, as I laid out here, student engagement in athletics is important. They might not be fans of the game yet, but those are the ones you should target in addition to the fans that currently like the brand. The people that will be your fan next is the person that you want to hook as soon as you possibly can to ensure that they become a fan of your team and not another. Question 4, what kinds of issues should be addressed in a crisis communication plan and who should handle them? We should be talking about how often and when to respond to negative comments, how to be productive on upcoming issues that may incite a negative response from fans, how can we be more transparent. Fans don't want a university athletic department to be hiding things, and then that turns into a scandal. So when any kind of crisis management comes out, these negative comments need to be responded to in a timely manner, and usually the recommendation would be by the director of the athletic communications department, possibly, and in coordination with either the athletic director or the head coach of the team if it's team specific issues. This allows for factual information and a centralized message that cannot be misconstrued. The last question is, how might Big Ten conference athletic departments use social media to help generate revenue without employing old paradigms of advertising to social media? Collaborations with brands that exhibit the culture of the university are very important, not throwing in brands that give the university money just because. The brand needs to be in line with the culture and values of the student body for it to really be effective. If the university really cares about the environment, then it needs to be a brand that has a campaign that will fall right in line with those values. Build fan loyalty and sell tickets on social media. And then lastly, engage potential boosters by posting things that are not only current, but historical. Alumni love to relive their glory days. Do that when there are gaps in play. When the off season is on for that sport, use that as an opportunity to re-engage alumni who have lost touch with the athletic department. Final discussions about this, my takeaways are that it's a complicated process that goes into developing a media strategy at these Big Ten universities. None of them seem to have a perfect or straight strategy that is used at all four universities. And this is just a small sample, so we may not know if this is representative of the entire conference. However, these strategies can vary, and getting the student body engaged and protecting the interests of the athletic organizations are the most important things. Banning, if that means banning student athlete accounts or monitoring them, and then centralizing your messaging seems to be a very important message as well. Misconstrued facts and opinions only make things worse when they're compounded by negative comments in the comments section on posts. Thank you for watching. The only resource for this video was the textbook on case studies. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time.